keeps it. We ain't leaving. Me, I'm never leaving. Well, we're about to find out. Come on inside, boys.
Just so you understand what's at stake here, this massive $1 million mansion they're competing for
Has not one bedroom, not 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but 7 bedrooms.
How are they expecting me to go back to my apartment after living here?
This mansion has everything. 3 game rooms, a movie theater,
I don't have any reason to leave.
A library,
I've never read a book in my life.
a gym.
We're gonna be shredded.
and that's not even all of it.
Nah, bro, they made a mistake picking me.
It couldn't be simpler. Whoever leaves last keeps the house. If you step on this red line,
That's that nigga from TikTok that said he's gonna make a Roblox Brawlhalla game.
you're out.
Him right here. That's crazy. But I ain't gonna lie. If anything, this gonna be like the first MrBeast challenge that I'd actually lose.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay, wait. So what time we're going to sleep? What time are we waking up? Man, shut up, bro. How are we gonna decide who sleeps where?
First to get to the room gets it.
Whoa, I got this room right here. We got in here.
Everybody seems pretty cool.
Everything's going.
Bruh, like this house doesn't even look far for real, bro. This look like a sitcom house. This area right here looks like the old RDC World room, bro.
Pretty chill, but I know it's about to get slimy, bro.
And he was right. See, the TVs in this house were a favorite item.
I love TV
You finished it? What's your thoughts on that shit?
way too much.
Which gave Chase the idea to sneak off and steal the remotes.
Someone threw the remote.
Where?
Right here.
No.
Like, why would they do that? That's our only form of entertainment right now.
Yo, is this Josh, the nigga that got the they playing TikTokers on here?
I don't know who it would be.
Whoever it is smart because the second the TVs go off, a lot of people is gonna drop, I think.
It's time to get some sleep, and we'll see what chaos day 2 brings.
Good night, boys.
Good night, bro. First,
You saw the AI girlfriend shit, bro. That shit was crazy, bro. And then like he started talking about kids again, bro. I thought there was actually hope for this nigga, bro. But like, he fried, bro.
morning in MrBeast's mansion.
Good morning, gentlemen.
This doesn't feel real. I never thought this little routine that I had in my house mattered, but it does. Like I'm really missing my mom right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, Chase. Funny to hear you say that after you trashed the contestants in our other videos.
Talking to the people who are in the videos, you miss your wife, don't you? Oh, you miss your kids. Your kid's birthday's coming up, right? It just so happens that I don't care, bro.
And Chase wasn't the only one to make a video like that. In fact,
Yo, I was dead for to make a video like that too. It was all like it's literally on my notes. Why does every time when a MrBeast video happens, he would always bring out the family and whatnot, bro? You know what I'm saying? And now he's over here in the video talking about how he misses family.
chose every single contestant in this video because each of them said publicly that my videos were extremely easy, and if they were ever in one, they would win for sure.
Is it just me or are the MrBeast?
Oh! Nigga, I could have been in the video! Damn! So they all made a video just like that? Oh, I fucked up my opportunity, bro. Oh, Greg, when I wrote this shit down. When I wrote this down. Now I got it in my notes too, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's on my daily thoughts. I had this shit on here since goddamn March the 2nd.
Contestants nowadays so soft.
Oh, I miss my family. I'll see you when I get out.
I don't care if it's 3 years.
I'm locking myself away.
I guess living in a mansion won't be as easy as they thought.
I want to go home.
I don't care, bro.
But rather than just leaving, Chase decided to take it out on the house.
It's our house, right? It's our house, right? Huh. Huh.
And this shit in the middle of nowhere, bro. Like, come on, gang. Fries. Not staying in the house, bro. And when MrBeast comes up and be like, hey, man, who wants 20,000? Right here. What the fuck? Right here. Not staying, bro. These niggas got it. This ugly ass house.
Day 2 straight chaos.
What is the actual point? No!
It's barely 10 a.m. and
House is already in shambles.
I'm already thinking about quitting. Genuinely, I'm already thinking about quitting.
When I heard someone wanted to leave, I had to pay a visit.
Do you want to leave?
Yeah, I do.
You made a video saying...
There's nothing in this world that pisses me off more than MrBeast contestants who leave after their first day because you miss your dog.
I realize people are going to be here for a whole year, and I'm not willing to do that.
Before you step out, can you say maybe the challenges aren't as easy as they seem?
No, they're still pretty easy.
I'm never leaving.
He's a fucking dumbass.
How do you get out first day?
I did not expect somebody to leave like this quick.
I'm just saying, after day 7 or 10, we all going off the walls.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm kicking doors down. Stools are going flying. Like, so you're kicking doors down like day 10? Okay, I'm kicking doors down day 2.
Oh, bruh.
Are you serious?
Bro, he did not just do that. Holy crap!
Yo, that was your room, bro. How do you feel?
Hey, you know what? Watch out, watch out, watch out.
This is a MrBeast challenge. We can do whatever.
Nah, you want to start something, then I'm going to finish it. Yo, wait, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Wait, let's talk. Nah. There's no more talking. Oh, no. Oh, no. No, wait, chill, wait, chill. Enjoy your mattress. Yo, chill. You started this. You want to play games?
They threw this nigga dead outside? No
Everything in
bed.
my body is telling me to step in and stop this, but they did say my videos were too easy, so I have to let it keep going.
We're not in the master bedroom anymore. In fact, we made our own master bedroom. Maybe I made one of the worst mistakes ever, but at the end of the day, I felt like it was way more important to just be authentically me.
But I think sleeping on the couch actually made Chase's mood worse.
I'm an unstable mess right now, bro. I want to go home. I feel like no one understands how unbelievably screwed they are if I blow up again.
But while he was venting in the gym,
You think my pranks are crazy until you see what I'm really cooking up in my brain, bro.
Wally snuck in and destroyed his new room.
Are you dead ass? I ain't gonna lie.
Yo, one more thing.
That's what that nigga gets. For real, bro. First door he wanna break in is my door. Now that nigga got hell every day till he leaves the house. That's some real shit.
I'm gonna meet today. Everyone's gonna feel it. I swear to God.
What would y'all do? Oh my God.
Oh.
I'm pussy?
I just got done.
And since Chase didn't know who messed up his room, well, I'll just show you what happened next. But he didn't stop there.
The ranch?
I swear somebody stopped me. I swear to God.
What? That nigga crashing out.
You thought that door was gonna stop me? Yo, that's cute.
Bro, are you serious right now?
Okay, chill.
He is pouring ranch on the carpet. That is freaking gross.
Are you serious right now? Bro, Chase, chill out.
No, don't touch me.
You just gotta calm down just a little bit.
It's too late. Boundaries crossed, bro.
Chase didn't take well to my prank, and he took it out on the entire house.
Just got hit with ranch all over. So my space is gonna smell like a whole fruit salad or Caesar salad. This is an Italian place in my room right now.
Everyone's definitely angry at me. They definitely want me out of here.
And seeing the damage in person completely blew my mind.
Is this a door?
And that's when I realized these might be the most deranged contestants we've ever had.
Did they break the front door?
Barbecue sauce. This is where you're sleeping?
Barely fits the bed in there.
Oh, there is no bed.
Got thrown off the balcony, Jimmy.
Your bed got thrown off the balcony?
Thrown off the bed. There is no bed.
Surely someone wants to leave. I mean, this is a nightmare. They are saying they might go years.
There's gonna be no house left.
I truly do not like sleeping or living in a dirty home. I'll be the one to clean all the aftermath of the chaos that happened earlier today.
But Kevin wasn't the only one to clean. And I think this actually brought the guys together.
Look, all these hard-working young men.
It was all over the walls, but we're doing pretty good.
And I think seeing the other guys cleaning the house made Chase want to make amends for destroying it.
Everyone relax for a second. I'm gonna build a project.
So they building something to get the last TV remote.
Here we go. Oh my God. This is the most crucial arcade you'll ever win in your entire life. Come on, this little one. That's how Does it work? Look at my... Oh, yeah! Oh my God.
For the rest of the night, the peace in the mansion continued. And the guys watched TV together for hours.
All it took was for us to get the remotes back.
Although having the television was nice, some of the contestants were realizing that being in a Beast video wasn't going to be as easy as they thought.
I'm really emotional about missing my family. I don't know how to operate without them.
What the
And on the morning of day 5, I realized that someone was ready to leave.
I'm not cut out for this. I know I'm not making it.
I got word one of you wants to leave?
Yep, right here. I miss my cat.
You're giving up $1 million mansion because of that?
She misses me.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Oh, don't bring up the clip, Jimmy. Don't bring up the clip, bro.
Let me remind you what you said publicly.
Like, why am I watching a MrBeast video and the contestant is ready to give up $1 million prize pool so he can go home and feed his
And that nigga got the fucking TikTok voice. My goodness.
cat named Cuddles?
No, MrBeast, I'm staying in. You're right.
Really?
I'll see you soon.
Really?
Nah, I'm just playing.
Hop on in.
Oh, man, it's nice in here.
Yeah. Another one down.
But right after that, there was one more person who wanted to leave.
I know he leaving, bro. He not, bro. Like, this nigga is not leaving his dogs. Like, I remember seeing him on TikTok.
See y'all later.
Wait, stop the limo! Stop the limo!
Bye, boys. See you later. Bro, I kind of want to go. What? I want to go home to my mom, bro.
Jimmy, we got one more.
I really miss my mom. I'm not joking. I don't know, dude. I'm thinking about it.
Wait.
It don't matter where you place me. Talk about some, hey, stay in this yacht and you get to keep it. Stay on there for 100 days. Bro, I'm staying on there for 200.
You said 200 days. It's what, day 5? Bro.
I did not
Bro, that nigga wants to go finish that Roblox Brawlhalla game, bro.
expect this to be as hard of a challenge as it was.
So all my previous videos that you clowned on the contestants, now that you just utterly failed, do you want to apologize to them?
No!
They keep dropping. Before I close this door, anyone else? All right, get out of here.
It was only day 5, and yet 3 of my biggest haters.
Bro, Aaron looks familiar too. I think I've seen him on TikTok as well. And him. Everybody else, I don't think I recognize them.
Had just given up.
Shout out to all the fallen ones of today. These all 3 are today.
But surprisingly, Chase leaving didn't change anything. Maybe it's because they all missed his energy, but in the next couple of days, there was a mayhem in the mansion.
We're gonna try to see how many books we can get onto the basketball court. Oh my God!
Cleaning this kitchen took hours.
Literally all over the floor.
There's too many people here that love the gym too much. If we want them out, we have to get it out.
Gym equipment is all cooked. Look at that weight rack.
Yo! Okay.
Windows broken down.
I don't know how much more I can take of this.
This house is beautiful, and they're just tearing it to shreds.
All he's doing is devaluing the mansion that he's competing for.
Are you serious, bro?
It's not easy.
It's day 10! I heard some of you kind of want to leave.
Somebody said they'd leave for a Chick-fil-A date.
You want Chick-fil-A?
30 count nugget and I'm out.
Yeah, I'll get you a 30-piece nugget meal if you step out.
I bet. No! Say bye to the boys though.
Okay, go for it. He's gonna give him $1 million house for a $10 meal. All right, in case you guys want to see his video.
And like 30 days in, this guy's complaining about missing his family. Your family can wait, bro.
This challenge is a little too easy. Like, I need a challenge a little harder.
It's only day 4 and I'm already emotional about missing
already
my family.
emotional.
I don't know how to operate without them.
Go ahead, step out, step out. All right.
I've been here for about 10 days. You know I have to take that deal, so.
I'll see y'all later, boys.
Bye, we love you.
and drink. Bring it on in. You guys all said publicly my videos are easy. So we're gonna let you experience one of them for yourself. I hope you remember our Chain to Your Ex video because we brought handcuffs. Each of you must partner with someone and be handcuffed together for an undisclosed amount of time. And if you take them off, you will be eliminated.
Are you serious?
You'll figure it out. The fun part is you won't know how long you'll have it on. Could be a day, could be a year. Choose wisely.
Oh, that's not good. Lock us in.
You want to lock in?
Team one.
Okay.
Let's go, Jimmy. Let's go.
All right.
I don't think we're realizing how bad this is gonna get really quick.
Right away, the contestants had one big question.
We're gonna go see like what the bathroom would be like.
We gotta pull a hold in this door, bro.
You got it. Hey, Pierre.
Yo, what if a nigga need a shower?
Sounds good.
All right, bro. Yo, chill out.
Today was the first day in the shackles, and they make every simple task so much more complicated.
What do you think about this?
It's horrible, bro. I don't know how long I can stay here, bro, honestly.
Oh my God, you hit me in the eye.
Now we're chained 4 ways.
And pretty quickly, the chain started to drive some people further apart.
Pierce, get off the floor. Get off the floor and come to the kitchen. You're pissing me off.
You two were already an inseparable duo, so.
Yeah, it won't be too bad for a little bit until he starts annoying me. This might be my last vlog, everyone. I think I'm gonna be living tomorrow.
After just one day in chains, some contestants had already had enough.
Why are you packing?
Jimmy, I'm leaving, man. I'll say it on camera. Your challenges are hard.
Oh, whoa! I'm satisfied. Let's see what Alec had to say.
I actually don't remember. Let's see.
Like, I honestly don't blame him for not reaching out and being like, yo, would you want to be in a video? I would be all over that. For a check, too? Oh my gosh. Like, I honestly don't blame him.
I love y'all.
Oh! You're now handcuffed to nothing. Wait, does anyone else want to leave real quick?
Yes.
You know, mine's pretty, it's not that bad.
I want to do it, MrBeast. Come on. I got this in the bag.
You got it in the bag? Okay.
No, that's AI. Jay, come and join me.
Once they left, we were down to Pierce, Uthi, Mark and Kevin, Asher and Aaron, and Quali and Ryan.
Me and Quali have grown to be besties. We've conquered the chain.
And they really had become closer.
My dad, they fired him this past year. I just have to set my family up first. If I can win the $1 million, most of that going to my parents.
Ever since I heard Quali's story, my goal is to just help Quali win.
I got you. Yeah, I got you.
My dad is old. I'm retiring him, and I think that will rejuvenate our relationship. I'm gonna win this.
But when it came to Asher, Aaron just couldn't seem to bond with him.
I just want you to understand like different points of views.
No, I understand the point of view. You're wrong, but I understand it.
Think about riding on the bikes with your brother, man.
Probably living his best life without me, honestly.
He's missing you right now. You don't even know.
I don't really care about him.
I'm genuinely concerned. He's shown no emotional connection to anybody in this house or his family. But I also know he's very smart.
And Asher's confidence was starting to get under their skin.
This is my house, bro.
Your house. Slow down, buddy.
I don't think you'll win.
It's okay. You don't have to think I'll win for me to win. But anyway, all right, good night, y'all.
I want to eliminate Asher. Him thinking that he is right about so many things and he knows everything is gonna be the reason why he won't see me coming.
By day 19, the boys found some interesting ways to pass their time.
Right, MrBeast
writing on the
all
wall.
over this wall. Because I'm bored. Bro, it
probably looks like I'm water on my face.
Insane.
But Kevin, Mark, and Uthi had noticed that ever since they got the remote back, the other guys spent a lot of time watching TV.
The only thing that's keeping him here is the TV.
I'm gonna destroy the TV.
Once they're bored, they're gonna leave.
African nigga finna destroy the TV. Ah, man, it's over.
So it begins. It's just gonna be like a domino effect.
And on day 21, Uthi put his plan into action.
I'm gonna make it!
Wait, hold on, what about the other one?
Now that both TVs are destroyed, the rest of the guys are gonna be so bored. Knock, knock. Boys, why would I show up at 10 p.m. with an iPad?
Somebody's
out?
Someone is out.
Oh!
You'll see it coming up in a second. Right there, he just full steps out.
Good job. Y'all was cool. Y'all was cool, bro.
Oh! 7 remain. You glad he left?
It's a competition.
It's about time someone said it. For these contestants, the challenge wasn't just living in a mansion. It was also losing time with those they cared about.
It's gonna suck to not walk across the stage because I'm missing prom, grad bash, I'm missing so much stuff.
Being away from everything makes me realize that while I'm here, like, life is still going, but I will never.
Nigga, if I went to school, bro, and you talking about high school, niggas talking about some prom, grad bash, bro, and it's my senior year, nigga, I'm not going. What the fuck? You got opportunity to get a fucking mansion and probably some cash prize right after that. And you want to throw it all away for fucking prom. Nigga, that shit only happens one time. A MrBeast video happens once in a lifetime. So, is you picking MrBeast video or are you picking prom? Get the fuck out of here, nigga.
Never be able to buy that time and that moment back.
I just got a call that one of them wants to leave. Let's go see. What up, boys? Who do you guys think is about to leave?
Mark.
It was Ryan. I'm just kidding. Mark, I got a message that you want to leave. Is that true?
Yes, it is true.
Before I unlock you, let me play a video.
I miss my wife and my kids graduating. Are you stupid? You gotta realize what your time is worth.
The contestants you were making fun of, when they did that, you called them dumb.
I did do that.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, no one get in there.
This hurts.
Crazy.
If I'm being honest, MrBeast picked a bunch of people who was just all bark and no bite. These guys weren't hungry for real.
It's been almost 20 days being chained to Quali and being roommates with him and Pierre, and honestly, it's only made us grow stronger.
Feels like you're like one of my brothers back at home.
Without the TV, the boys found a new way to pass the time.
Destroy things?
What we are witnessing here is what happens when you take television away from men. They become cavemen.
Man, I just want these chains off, honestly.
Well, lucky for Ryan, it was almost time for the chains to come off.
Day 40's coming, and Jimmy's cooking something up. They're gonna be in for a surprise when they wake up.
What the flip? Why is there tape up?
This confirms there's something has to be going on day 40.
Hey boys, how we doing? It's time to take the handcuffs off. The first challenge is now done. Everyone is free. What video do you think we're gonna imitate next?
Bunker.
Should have asked before I put this on. In my bunker video, an alarm would sound and the contestants would have less than 1 minute to activate this hand scanner in order to stay in the competition. And that is the game that you are all playing now. If you do not scan your hand within a minute, you are eliminated.
Let's do it.
This is too easy.
Don't worry, by the end of this video, they won't be saying things are too easy.
Jimmy just came and gave us a banger of a challenge. Yes, this is what we needed. I can't risk being up here when that alarm sounds.
I feel like I need to be closer, so sleep right here. Not willing to take the risk.
I've decided I am going to sleep right here. This thing could go off at any moment. I'm not risking it.
We think Jimmy's gonna make you go really late tonight and then do it really early tomorrow morning, so.
This is the boys' first real alarm, and they're not taking it seriously at all.
That wasn't that bad.
Not bad at all.
And they handled that so well, I scheduled the alarms for what I thought were the worst times possible, like first thing in the morning, and even while they were in the shower. In fact, no matter what we threw at them, the boys kept making it to the scanners in time.
Too easy, Jimmy. Too easy.
All right.
It's so easy.
Kill it at 30 seconds.
We need a challenge.
Jimmy, do better.
So on day 50, I came by to give them the challenge they were asking for.
I can see his shoulder. What is he doing?
I don't know if this will work, but let's see if they fall for it.
Let's go.
Good morning, boys.
Good morning, Jimmy.
I'm here because I heard things are too easy.
Maybe we shorten the time?
I'm down with that.
Switch it to 30 seconds. Let's see what that looks
That's
like.
what I thought. Yeah, 30 seconds.
All right, let's see if 30 gets anyone out.
And we'll do one more gift for you guys.
We got you a Feastables vending machine.
So I'm about to get my favorite flavor, the peanut butter chocolate cup. Delicious.
And not only does Feastables taste amazing, but we're also getting kids out of illegal child labor. Over 1 million kids working illegal child labor on cacao farms. And at Feastables, we pay...
Damn, bro. Shit, an hour, nigga? Am I gonna be able to finish this video?
mistakes.
I have to play it safe, and I have to move all my stuff to the library.
This is bad. 15, everybody gone.
Now we're on our tiptoes. This new challenge has brought this house together. Everybody in the house is united. Goofy, man, that's my brother.
Yeah, from my little mother. Yes, sir.
And despite everyone getting closer, unfortunately, one of the contestants still didn't seem to fit in.
What's up with Asher?
I am the biggest challenger. These people are scared of losing to me because, honestly, I have the least amount of life outside of here.
Can you stop doing that? Why are you doing that?
That dude's still gonna go.
Are you talking about Asher? Yes, 100%.
So right now, I'm gonna empty all the food from the fridges, the pantries, the freezers, and even the cookware. There's no way that any of them will be able to eat at all. Now that it's Asher versus the house, I'm gonna do what it takes to win.
It's day 65. I was gonna wait until day 70, but Asher has taken this video to a place it wasn't supposed to go, so I'm gonna mix things up.
Congrats, you guys all passed as usual.
Follow me.
Oh shoot, there's food.
Remember that video where I trapped 2 people together for 100 days?
One of the videos that you guys said was too easy.
Yeah. Yes.
You need to pick a partner, and you're gonna be isolated in a room together. Go for it, it's up to you guys.
Hey, Uthman, you wanna be my partner?
Oh my God.
Pierce, looks like you're stuck with me then, man.
Wait, no one wants to be with Asher?
I mean, it's kind of fair, makes sense.
In front of your face, Asher, they're debating who's gonna suffer with you.
Completely valid.
You gotta decide your partner right now.
Sure, I'll do it.
Nah, bro, I'll do it. I got you.
So the top 6 was split into Quali and Pierce.
This is all the food you have.
Rice, oats, beef.
Kevin and Uthi,
You step right here, you're out.
Is this considered a meal? This small thing right here?
and Ryan and Asher. They did say my videos were too easy.
Wait, what's in the backpack?
So, Jimmy, we got some books to read.
Oh.
We got Feastables in here as well.
They might have just outsmarted the system.
Jimmy, I think this is too easy.
Wait, this is too easy?
Too easy.
And while you guys are in here,
We're gonna take this beautiful mansion that you guys utterly destroyed and restore the entire thing until it's as good as new.
thanks to Lowe's.
Thank you, Lowe's. I appreciate that.
We got so used to having such a big house, being able to walk around, go anywhere.
We don't know how long we're gonna be here. That's the problem.
We put ourselves in an advantageous position, didn't we?
I'll shake on that.
The guys thought this would be another easy challenge.
We discovered that there is a hole.
This challenge ain't even that bad. It's just waiting.
It's really just gonna be the boredom, but me and Pierre kind of made a basketball hoop already.
And so they passed the time by reading, exercising, and playing games.
Oh, Jimmy keeps giving us challenges that aren't gonna get anybody out.
But after a few days, it gets old fast.
You go from having everything to having nothing at all in a split second. Teaches a person how to be truly humble.
Today is officially the day I graduate high school. I mean, literally, I missed the graduation ceremony.
I missed the outside world of this mansion.
And eating the same food every day didn't help.
To me, it looks like a bunch of whatever on a plate.
We don't have variety. That's it.
Bon appetit.
I'm so bored. I genuinely don't know what to do at all.
Brother, when will this end?
It sucks they said my videos were too easy because otherwise I'd step in and help them out. They've been in here for a week now and they're already starting to go crazy, which makes sense because when I spent 7 days in solitary confinement, I started to lose it too.
We are all in the Beast Mansion. Yo!
Nigga, if it was me, bro, I'd just go to sleep. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Another nigga in the room, bro, just tell that nigga, yo, bro, I'm finna just go to sleep. Whole time, my nigga, that's what I'm doing. Till MrBeast offering money, bro. Sleep is the method. I don't care, bro. I wake up, sleep. Oh shit, nothing new. MrBeast ain't come. Nah, all right. I'm gonna fuck with you.
I'm gonna drink a chug jug from Fortnite.
The hardest part about being in isolation is honestly how slow life moves. I'm struggling to keep my mind occupied. Tired of being in isolation, stuck doing nothing.
So to fight off the crippling boredom, Ryan had an idea that was about to change everything.
I've been in isolation for a long time now. I'm gonna be counting to 100,000 just like MrBeast did all those years ago.
I'm about to count to 100,000. This was my first viral video that basically started this whole channel. And for years, people have been telling me that this was stupid and easy. And what you're about to see is going to prove whether or not that's true.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I was listening to Ryan count a little, and he's already going crazy. The question is, will he accidentally mess up his numbers?
2033, 2044, 20.
Will he still be able to do it?
5,900 and something.
70. 8,171, 8,172, 8,200, 10,200, 10,000. Wait. 11,258, 11,259, 11,260, 11,000.
30,000. You gonna go to sleep?
No sleep. 196, 19,997, 19,998, 19,999, 20,000.
What up, Jim?
How's the isolation been?
Horrible! We've learned our lesson, Jimmy. Come on.
To be clear, if you guys didn't wreck the house.
That's tough.
I wouldn't have had to isolate you. All right, we gotta repaint the walls. Some of the walls have drawing, other walls just have mustard and ketchup, but we're not just fixing the walls by painting them. I have to tear the whole wall down.
What? You don't really gotta, I don't think you...
From repairing the damage to completely transforming every room, this entire renovation was made possible by Lowe's. They supplied everything we needed to make this mansion brand new again.
The house is gonna be fixed in no time.
This carpet is covered in barbecue sauce. Why? How we doing up here? So what's the hardest part?
The food. Definitely.
All right, maybe if I did stay a little bit longer, bro, I'd probably actually care about the house now.
Problem is, you guys said my videos are too easy, or I would help you out.
Hey, Jimmy, you notice we're missing somebody?
What's going on in here?
Oh, I'm counting to 100,000.
Why?
Obviously, I'm stuck in isolation. I got nothing but time. And
What are you on?
29,000.
Is it harder than you thought?
Way harder than I thought.
I know, everyone thinks it was easy.
You have all my respect.
You want to torture yourself.
Yes.
Like I tortured myself.
Yes, I do.
In a weird way, I understand. Thank you, man. We're going to review the footage. Make sure you don't miss a number. And if you hit all 100,000, I'll bring you something special.
Back to counting. 38,204, 38,205, 39,395, 39,396, 39,397.
Who is that?
Me. Stop. Keep counting.
All right, just don't bother me.
39,999, 40,000.
Tastes like 40,000.
49,998, 49,999, 50,000.
In celebration of Ryan reaching 50,000, we decided we're having dinner for breakfast.
Oh, I think I'm gonna need the energy because I do not want to go to sleep. I really want to try to stay up and finish the challenge in one go, just like Jimmy did.
Well, keep up the great work because you are officially halfway there.
In my experience, 1 to 50,000 is a lot easier than 50,000 to 100,000. Let's see if Ryan can pull it off.
I don't know where I am. I literally don't know where I am.
Nigga, I feel as tired as this nigga in this video, bro. I don't even know whether I could finish the rest of this video, bro. I'm halfway through the vid.
My mouth hurts. I'm starting to see numbers. I don't know how that's possible, but it just is. I'm tired.
Like, I'm thinking about getting food, but then I'm like, bro, I'm breaking the habit, bro. I done lost like 12 pounds, bro.
And I still have many hours to go.
76,071, 76,032, 76,032.
Hello? Jimmy? Hi, Asher.
How is your morale?
I didn't realize how much of a mental toll it would take.
For the longest time, I felt like I'm the only one that knows how hard it was to count to 100,000. And it's kind of nice to know that someone else will finally understand.
90,000. Oh my gosh.
You're Squally. Listening in.
Trying to help him out.
He's gonna make it through.
99,611, 99,612, 99,613, 99,613.
14. You got this, bro. Take a breath.
99,799, 99,800.
Ryan is officially 200 away from 100,000.
99,998, 99,999, 100,000. 100,000. I'm done. I'm done.
You did it! Let's go! Let's go!
100,000! It turns out setting your mind to something has a way of lifting up those around you.
What up, my broskies?
Asher wasn't impressed because he was convinced that Ryan's challenge was actually easy.
Counting to 100,000 is some.
Dude, you're actually so dumb.
Bro, fucking Brady Goo's about to piss me the fuck off. Everything is easy to that fucking chump. Fuck Asher, man.
You know that, right?
He was still annoying people with his arrogance.
In my, when I did my breakdown of like how I'm gonna spend the million, I budgeted 15K for a motorcycle.
If you get your $1 million.
He's like, when I do, I'm like, shut up. I like thought we were all becoming friends and like just says some BS like that.
You're genuinely obnoxious. You know that, right? I want to make sure that I can eliminate Asher to increase Quality's chances to winning.
I will make sure that I will not get out before this guy. Sole mission.
With everyone talking so much about how they disliked Asher, it was only a matter of time before he overheard.
Yes, Asher is smart, but his biggest flaw takes away from his intelligence.
His ego, it's so scary. As an 18-year-old, we just started. I've always been warned about ego, but he put it in perspective why it's bad.
Uh-oh. Is he breaking?
I've been homeschooled my whole life, basically, and so it's a different environment for me, and just being able to learn what do the social norms look like. No matter how competitive I want to be, it just makes me me. I was treating every single thing as a challenge. I think I can at least become better and grow in myself emotionally. I would like to formally apologize. When I threw out the food, I didn't put myself in each of y'all's shoes before I did it. Please forgive me.
We can compete without being jerks to each other.
Exactly.
On day 90, I remembered I promised Ryan a prize for counting to 100,000.
That's gonna take a second to clean up. Just cut to us upstairs. Boys, come on out! Because you counted to 100,000, I brought you 100,000 pennies.
This reminds me of when you used to give pennies for how many millions of subscribers you had.
Yes, or when I bought a car with pennies. You guys have officially survived 3 months in this mansion. All right, ready, boys? Okay. Wait a minute, guys, wait a minute. Did you guys say my videos were too easy?
Oh, shit.
We did. Oh, no.
So normally, this is where I'd lift it up.
Yo, they got like things to like share their face and shit, bro. Because if it was like 3 months, my nigga, I would have had a beard, nigga, like Rick Ross on some shit. This would have been bad.
But since they're too easy, maybe we try again in a couple weeks. I'm sorry, we just, you know.
It is hard, Jimmy. It is.
I'm glad they're finally hard because you guys said they're too easy.
Your videos are not
How do they
easy.
shower?
They're hard.
I'm trying to make it hard for you.
Jimmy, we are gonna
You
be
too?
here so
Damn, y'all be
long.
shaving y'all face every day, bro. I think that's the only thing that I hate. Like, for real, bro. Because, like, I was, like, 16, bro. I ain't had to shave my face, like, every 3 days, bro. Bro, as you can see right now, bro, I'm growing hair on my face again. I just shaved this shit, like, yesterday, bro. And then now I gotta shave, like, probably like Tuesday. Or, like, Wednesday before I go to work, bro. This shit just grows and grows and grows. Like, nobody got time for that shit, bro. And then there's niggas that can't even grow. And they be like, man, I want a fucking beard. As if, nigga, I don't want no beard, bro. All I want is stash and goatee, bro. And call it a day.
Do you know why I'm coming back?
No.
Because someone's eliminated.
Are you playing with us?
I'm playing. How do I put this?
No one's actually eliminated. I just want to hang out with you guys. The actual reason why I'm here is I wanted to give you guys a chance to see your brand new house. The entire time you guys have been here, me and Lowe's have been fixing the house that you guys destroyed. I want to give you a chance.
So you get stubble. I ain't gonna lie, the stubble look fine. You know what I'm saying? Makes you like a real beautiful, handsome man. And then it gets a little bit gruffy after a couple of days, and now you look like one of them old niggas.
To go see the brand new house, to leave the room so we can also fix up these rooms. But I want you to promise you're not gonna destroy the house before I do.
We will never,
Jimmy.
never.
We promise.
Pinky.
Pinky promise. We don't break those.
This mansion went from destroyed to literally brand new. And it's all thanks to Lowe's. But Lowe's isn't just for renovation. They also help you maintain your homes. Imagine when you win this home. Do you want to have to clean out your dryer vents, fix your air filters?
Nope.
Yeah. Change your light bulbs?
Nope. Yeah.
Well, with Home Care Plus, for just $99 a year, Lowe's will come out twice to handle all of these annoying tasks for you.
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna need that.
They got a whole soccer field. It's the war.
Are you dead ass? That's fine. I ain't gonna lie. That's not a bad plan. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, of the fallen.
Everyone salute. Rest in peace. And to make winning this mansion even better, the winner will receive Lowe's Home Care Plus for life.
Let's go!
There's literally no reason not to sign up for it. Just scan this QR code or click the link in the description and sign up right now. Let Lowe's handle all the things you don't.
That's the only time I watch an add-on on a stream, bro. It's probably a MrBeast video because it's actually beneficial for me.
want to do.
Today is our first night sleeping outside of isolation in 31 days. So now I'm going to bed, and I think everybody else is going to stay up for a couple hours.
There you go.
While the boys were competing for this mansion, time was passing by in the real world. And for Pierce, that meant missing a huge milestone.
It's your boy. We graduated high school. Bro, that's crazy. You graduated in the Beast Mansion.
This video has been going on for so long that Pierce actually missed his high school graduation.
Nigga missed graduation. I ain't gonna lie, chat. I wouldn't even care, bro. For real, bro. At this point, my nigga, you gotta win. I really want everybody to win but Asher. That's how I'm feeling right now.
So I reached out to his principal, and I have a little surprise for him.
Why don't you follow me downstairs?
Jimmy.
Pierce, come on over here. You know what happened yesterday, right?
What?
All your friends graduated high school, which is why I brought you a gown.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro. You go graduation. I ain't gonna lie. When I walked on that stage, I was like, yes, bro. I finally did this shit. I made it. You know what I'm saying? And after that, I woke up the next day. Oh, and that's it. Car's on the way. You feel me? And then nigga go to college. And I'm like, yeah, bro, fuck this shit. I don't care about none of this, bro. It's like, no, it's literally GTA 5, bro. Like, free world. When I be telling y'all free mode on GTA 5, that's it, bro. You complete the story, bro. That's it. Bro, after I graduated, I saw people sitting in the parking lot. They're like, damn, we talking to each other down. They crying, bro. I looked at every one of those fuckers. I'm like, nigga, I ain't gonna never see none of y'all niggas ever again, bro. I jumped in that old ass BMW and drove the fuck home, bro. And you know what's the first thing that I did, bro? I hopped on Fortnite. I dead ass didn't even care, bro.
I brought you a cap, put it on. Boys, come over here, sit down. Pierce, have a seat in this chair. And I have a special guest for you on the TV. This is your school's counselor.
Oh, congratulations, Pierce.
And she's here to witness me give you your high school diploma. Despite you being in here for the last 3 months, you did not fail high school. They still let you pass. Well, I brought you cake, but it got covered in confetti.
You should smash in my face.
You sure?
Yeah.
Hey, wait.
No, this actually lit though, because like one, like he didn't have to do none of the midterms or all that extra like school shit, whatever it is, bro. While everybody had to keep coming to school, this nigga was just sitting at home, well, inside a home, doing a MrBeast challenge. That's so fucking crazy, bro.
Counselor, can you look away? Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right. Well, now that we had some fun, you want to do the next challenge? Even if you could win a bunch of money?
Ooh.
Over the next 30 days, at random times, I will be calling this phone. Whoever answers it will get whatever I offer.
Hello? Nothing.
Because I'm standing right here. That was just a test.
Oh!
So you get the point. Here's the thing, boys. Might not always be positive. I could call you with a gift or a punishment. I'll call you at random intervals. Good luck.
This is possibly the first chance that we can get something positive out of this video. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
Tell us what you think.
Come on, Ryan.
Rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock,
One.
paper, scissors, shoot.
Just saying. I'm just saying.
Go ahead, bro.
Hello, who is it?
Congratulations, you just won $10,000.
Ryan, you would have died that night. No bullshit. You would have died that night, nigga. What the fuck?
No way!
Yep, I'm sending you 10 grand. Congrats, man.
Hey, fair game.
It was a fair game.
Fair game. Congrats, bro.
I'm scared.
Punishment.
Hello?
Thank you for answering. I need you to spend the next 24 hours in a bathtub.
In the bathtub?
In a bathtub.
I knew it was bad.
I knew I shouldn't have answered that one. 24 hours in a bathtub? Jimmy!
You never know what you're going to get with this challenge. But for Ryan, he got a briefcase full of money.
We weren't kidding when we said that you won 10 grand.
Ryan! Man! Special delivery!
That's your 10 bands right
Is this
there.
mine?
That's
How
your
heavy
10
is it?
bands.
It's heavy.
I absolutely love this challenge. And let me tell you why. We have the option if we want to pick up the phone or let it rain.
You know, if we don't answer, something bad is gonna happen.
I already got my 10K. I'm gonna avoid the phone. I'm gonna let other people pick it up.
My strategy with the phone is just not answer it at all. Are you gonna answer the phone again?
Oh, definitely.
And Koali would soon have that option since his time in isolation was coming to an end.
Challenge 1 done, Jimmy.
It's day 99, almost day 100. Honestly,
Yo. Bro, that's exactly what life is, bro. And then look, after you graduate, bro, it's easier for you to go to jail. It's easier for you to it's easier for you to get sick. It's easier for you to get your heart broken and all this other extra shit, bro. Cause like when you're in school, bro, you were focused on all this other shit, bro. Now you just end up just doing other shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? No, but the jail shit, it's way easier to go to jail, bro. Like, let's say if you got a car, right? And like you didn't have insurance and you stopped getting insurance, right? They suspend your license. And then on top of that, nigga, let's say you were driving and let's say you were trying to go to work on some shit. And these niggas see you on the road with a suspended license, all because you canceled your insurance, nigga, straight to jail. And on top of that, nigga, you gotta pay a fee. You know what I'm saying? Paying all these fines and shit, bro. And then you in jail with a nigga that done did some crazy shit, bro. So you end up getting your ass beat. And then guess what? While you already fucked up in jail, bro, you're like, man, this nigga really changed me in jail because I got my ass beat. And now guess what? Fuck the world. I'm on my anti-world shit. Now you beating everybody's ass all because of that shit. Bro. Mind you, nobody teach you what is low-key illegal, by the way. You got to find out yourself. Bro. That's that shit. That's that shit, bro. Taxes and all this other shit. Bro, when I first started getting paid on the internet, bro, these niggas said, yo, Nytrsa, I'm gonna tell you some shit. What you need to do, all that bread that you was making on TikTok and shit like that, you gotta pay taxes. If you don't, IRS come knocking at your door. Bro, that's why I ain't spend all that money, nigga. I got all that money, bro. And I sent it right back to the IRS. I'm like, hey man, y'all niggas can hold this. I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all can hold that shit, bro. I'm not getting caught up with no IRS shit, bro. I'm not going to jail for nobody. I don't care what it is, boy. Hell nah, nigga. Nah, bro. Here, bro. For real, bro. Anything that has to deal with legal issues, oh no, you could wait a couple extra days. I'm like, nah, pay all that shit up right now. Here you go. Nah, that shit, bro. I'm not trying to hear no extra shit. Oh man, you could wait for this final date, bro. Nope. I don't play with the government whatsoever, bro. I don't play with police, I don't play with the government. Yeah, yeah. And it's good to save your money, bro. Like, what's his name? Canal, he spent all his money, bro. And then I be seeing shit of like a lot of famous people, they don't pay their taxes and they take all their shit. Like Lil Pump and them, bro. Like, nah. I mean, fuck no, nigga. I won't be no example. You can have all this shit, bro. Fuck I look like. Bro, and then I'm in jail with a big booty bandit. Fuck out of here. Do I look like that? What the fuck? No. Hell no, nigga. Or another thing niggas can go to jail for. Wrong place, wrong time. Me, I get angry. Like, I could really get mad. I could cuss a nigga out. I could do all this shit, bro. But sometimes, bro, you don't, it's no reason for you to get angry, bro. Because the nigga moment segments, right? Because, like, a nigga will really get you mad, bro. You could road rage on the road. You could do all this other shit, bro. But it could actually get your ass in jail. Plus, another thing, nigga, you can't touch nobody. You touch a nigga, that's battery. Express charges. You go to jail. Mugshot. Fucks up everything. Now, every time you apply for a job, they be like, oh man, have you ever been convicted of a felony? And all this other extra shit. I don't got time for that. Fuck out of here, bro. First shot, your mugshot, yes, and you get posted on Facebook. Every local area has that one nigga that's posting your mugshot on a Facebook page, bro. The SBG got a homie, bro. This nigga always going to jail, bro. Bro, this nigga got like 5 mugshots, bro. Bro, I'm not trying to be on there, bro. Cause once niggas know, bro, it's over with, bro. I had a crush that I went to school with, bro. She got a felony. I mean, she went to jail and they posted her on here, bro. They posted her mugshot on here. And then on top of that, my nigga, they posted on the bad shoddy mugshots and shit like that. I'm like, hey man, it is what it is, bro. But I was like, fuck that bitch too, bro. I ain't gonna lie. She was out here serving fentanyl to minors and shit. I ain't no bitch get down like that. That shit crazy, gang. You serving fentanyl to minors is crazy.
Low-key tired of being when there is these days like this where you just realize how long you've been.
Pretty ass light-skinned bitch, bro. Pretty ass light-skinned bitch. They post her shit and everything, bro. They was like, nah, I could save her, bro, free her. And I don't blame y'all saying for free her, because she was actually some bad shit too.
Here, how long you've been away from everybody, it does make you kind of just sick of being here. What's up, Jimmy?
Since it's day 100 for you guys, it doesn't feel right to give you a punishment. Go look outside the front door. I left you something special.
Ooh, pizza?
Is that pizza?
Cookies! Okay, okay. Tonight, we feast!
Chad, you can't go wrong with pizza, bro. And I've been thinking about pizza for a minute. I don't know whether I should go Papa John's, Little Caesars, or even Domino's, nigga. That's how I'm feeling, bro. Like, I want some of that pepperoni and cheese, tomato, all that shit, bro. I'm feeling pizza, bro.
Hey guys, the phone's ringing. The phone is ringing.
Don't pick it up, bro.
What's up, Jimmy? What you got for me today?
Wally, I want you to hand the phone right now to the person in the mansion you trust the least.
Somebody answered it?
Okay.
Me?
Take the phone.
Hello, Jimmy.
Here's the deal, Asher. If you spend 24 hours in solitary confinement in one of the rooms in the mansion, I will give Wally $10,000 on your behalf. But it's up to you if you want to do it. You can act like this call never happened. Good luck. Let's see what Asher does.
I have to decide if I want to enter a room and stay in there in solitary confinement for the next 24 hours. If I succeed, Wally gets $10,000.
Asher, will you do this for me? So, the person that I probably argued with the most is now holding $10K in his hands that could possibly go to me, but he has to be the one to do the challenge. This is crazy.
Throughout this video, Asher has been playing in...
I honestly don't care whether Asher gives me 10K or not. Fuck that nigga. To be honest. That's how I'm feeling.
Entirely for himself. But now, to win Koali $10,000, he has to survive 24 hours in isolation. Will the most selfish player in the game actually do something selfless?
Nothing's gonna stop me from winning this mansion.
My fate is in his hands.
Well, there you go. I got 24 hours here in isolation. I guess you'll see me in 24 hours when I finish this challenge and Koali gets his $10,000. Super excited for it. I don't think I'll ever be able to build the deep relationships that some of those guys have. Koali, Ryan, Pierce, brothers, for real. Kevin and Uthman, also inseparable. I don't think it'll ever get to the point where they trust me. And I really hope that's something I can work on.
Hello? Thank you. I have a choice. Asher, Jimmy gave me an option. I can swap places with you, reset the timer, okay, and if I complete the 24 hours, we both get 10K. Or I can let you play out your last hour, right, and I just get 10K. Asher, you want 10K?
Well, of course I want 10K, but it's whatever Koali wants. I mean, at this point, it's like, it's up to him, bro.
Asher.
Yes, sir?
It's time to swap.
Is it?
I'm in. You are now free.
Well, I thank you, good sir. I'll grab my things and I'll be on my way. Well, that's the last of Koali I'll see for the next 24 plus hours.
The challenge I thought would tear them apart actually brought them closer together. And after 24 hours, it was time for another call.
Hello.
Hey, Uthi. All right, you can let Koali out and go open the front door for your prize. Congrats.
Look at it.
Yo, Nick, thank you for the raid, bro. Welcome to the stream. Hope you had a wonderful stream, man.
Yes. Me and you both, my boy.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, my good man.
Well, I'm very proud of you boys. Y'all have done well, worked together, and not allowed Jimmy to divide you.
And just like that, peace had been restored in the
Niggas got deep dish pizza. Never had that.
Beast Mansion, at least for a night.
Honestly, I think I'm gonna pick it up today. Why not risk it for the
Bro, the last one was a fucking risk. Ugh. I know Jimmy be doing flip-flops with this shit, bro. I'm not picking up the next one, bro.
Sorry.
He's just dreaming about it.
Sorry.
I'm coming in hot. Jimmy, what's up?
Yo, hey, it's KSI.
Yo, KSI, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Hey, KSI, talk to Kevin. He don't believe you here.
KSI? Yo, what's up, man?
Since you guys answered, are you ready for what's about to happen?
I'm ready. Give it to me straight, Jimmy.
I have JJ here, and you answered his phone call, which means I'm gonna play his music through the speakers on loop for the next 24 hours. Have fun. Don't say my videos are too easy.
I'm in the thick of it. Everybody knows. They know me first.
24 hours, and y'all niggas excited within the first second.
How does the song? I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows. This is the challenge.
How long exactly did he say? He's got 24 hours.
Everybody knows. Pretty loud.
Jimmy!
Currently 18 minutes into the 24-hour KSI challenge. My ears are already bleeding.
The first time was okay, second time, third time, now we keep going.
Oh, they get to sit outside. What? Nigga, they don't fail right here?
Jimmy, why?
Stop!
I'm gonna step out. I'm willing to give up a multi-million-dollar mansion just to not hear your song. Congratulations.
Turn the music off! Turn the music off!
They thought the daytime was bad, but trying to sleep through this is a literal nightmare.
They're in the balcony.
I just snuck into the mansion. I have a massive surprise for the boys. Check this out. For our next phone call, come on in. I recreated an Old Navy store here, and whoever answers the phone is about to win $50,000. I'm ringing the phone. Let's see if any of the boys answer.
I guess this is how the story goes.
While we're waiting, you can also win your share of $50,000 by scanning this QR code. We're to give 50 people that do a $1,000 shopping spree at Old Navy.
The official back-to-school retail apparel partner of MrBeast.
Where you can get hoodies, jeans, graphic tees, whatever you need for this back-to-school year, they have available at Old Navy.
Nigga, I don't even go to school no more, bro. Like, what the fuck are you even showing me, Jimmy? I do Gap, though. Yeah. Gap got some nice shit.
Navy. Wait. They're not answering.
Ring to the pen to the key.
Ring, 10 king.
Telephone number. Oh my gosh, they didn't answer. That is awkward. But hey, at least you guys can still win $50,000. Make sure you go to your local Old Navy or oldnavy.com. Whatever you need for this back-to-school year, they have. You know what's crazy, Nolan? What? They're not even gonna know we were ever here. Like, let's head out. We're gonna revamp this back to normal, and they won't know this ever happened.
I can move now?
Yeah.
I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows.
Oh, did it stop? It's done. I can hear the sound of your voice.
I'm in the thick of it, everybody knows. No, that song is banned.
I truly appreciate being here in a MrBeast video. I've moved house to house, been evicted, even homeless. Even through all of that, I still had the determination, the drive, and the will to accomplish all of my dreams. And I sacrificed a ton being here, and it feels like I have to win this mansion.
All these guys came into this house.
Bro, I feel like a challenge watching this video, bro.
With, let's just call it confidence.
I'm talking to you, MrBeast. I promise you will win.
I don't care if it's 3 years.
I'm locking myself away.
Just put me in the competitions. Put me in.
I'm never going home. That's the whole point. I'm never going home.
But Ryan, Quali, Uthman, Pierce, Kevin, and Asher have definitely put their money where their mouth is.
I still believe that I can win this thing. Give me something good, Jimmy.
Nah, not for real.
You're coming back. You're gonna give us a hard challenge. I'm ready.
It's just nuts to be in a MrBeast video. Like, I'm spending my senior year of high school here.
You told us that this video could go on for 2 years, for 4 years. And I came in here prepared to last that long.
I've lived the last 4 months of my life in here. Only one person can really walk out here with the mansion, and I still plan on it being me.
My family, we struggle a lot with finances back at home. I'm just nervous. I feel like my family is counting on me, and I feel like I was supposed to be here for some reason. I really want to win.
To make this challenge hard enough, where these contestants will actually leave the mansion, I've decided to do something drastic. And it's the first time I've ever done this in the history of my entire channel.
Okay. Boys!
Who's gonna knock?
Boys, come on down!
Oh God, Jimmy, what you got going, man?
The next challenge of this video.
Oh!
Raise your right hand. Will be whoever takes their hand off the mansion last keeps it.
Oh God.
Alrighty, let's do it.
But there's a twist. Yeah, just put the 600 grand right here.
Whoa! Oh my God. Wait.
In front of you guys is $600,000 in cash.
Cool.
And if you guys let me compete in this challenge, I'll put my hand on the mansion right now. Anyone who quits this challenge before I do will receive $100,000. But
quit before. Oh shit, that's 100 bands right there, boy. I ain't gonna lie, chat. This is enough for Nytrsa. I'm sorry, bro.
if I quit the challenge, all the prize money is then off the table. So if you want the $100,000, you'll have to give up before I do.
Oh my Lord.
I think we should do it.
But if I win,
yeah, you heard that thing? I think we should do it because he already locked in with the 100,000.
I get to keep the mansion.
Jimmy, I don't know if you got it like you used to.
Oh my gosh.
Let's do it. Let's do it. It's a deal.
Wait. I need at least 3 of you to agree.
Let's get it. Do it.
That's all of them.
Let's do it.
It'd be an honor to beat you in a challenge, Jimmy.
Now that I'm a mansion boy,
You're looking like me. You look amazing. I love it. I love the fit.
Put your hand on the wall. The challenge has officially begun. If your hand comes off the walls, the floors, or the counters, you lose this mansion. Actually, we lose it. Because I'm competing now.
Oh, God.
To make extra sure we know when a hand comes off the wall, bring in the hand cams.
No way.
Oh my days.
Jimmy, how many days are you gonna last? As long as I'm still breathing.
Come on, man.
$100,000 is a lot of money. Are you considering it?
Of course. Yeah. It's running through our mind.
So, can you stop? Like, he's playing with my life right now. Stop.
Each of the boys could currently win $100,000. But if I take my hand off before them, all that money is off the table.
I started with nothing, so if I leave with nothing, I lost nothing.
So you're not taking your hand off?
No.
Even though it's $100,000?
Correct.
We don't got a lot at home. We've lost it all. We've been homeless. We've had to sleep in cars. Giving up on $1 million prize pool just sounds a little bit too crazy to me.
I don't know if he's willing to even go 24 hours.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think I'm willing to make that gamble.
Me neither. I'm not willing to do it.
What are we talking about, boys?
Jimmy, don't make me. Don't make me. I would love to hang out for a whole night.
Yeah? Well, then let's hang out. What's the rush?
You.
I'm here to stay.
I can't trust that you will stay.
Bro, I've had the pleasure of living with you for 15 days, chained to you for 31 days. Look, bro, if you roll, I roll.
Oh wait, you're gonna leave if he leaves.
No way! I think if two of my boys go, I think it's my time to go as well.
Wait, really? But with everyone who drops, your odds of winning $1 million mansion skyrocket.
I know, Jimmy. I've come so far. It's just like insane how much memories I've made, how much, like, these people are like family to me. And we're still friends after this, no matter.
No, we're not fucking friends, bro. You're gonna go get the $100,000 and then you're gonna make a YouTube channel talking about how I made $100,000 off a MrBeast video, and then you're gonna LARP until you get 1 million subscribers, bro. And then you're gonna sell us your AI course and all that other extra bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. I'm so fucking tired, bro. Bro, nigga, you missed graduation. If I were you, nigga, I'm winning that shit. I don't care, bro.
No matter what.
I feel like I've made it pretty clear that ever since I've been chained to you, I've wanted to be with you, and if you roll, I roll, dude. That's how much you mean to me.
I appreciate you guys, because you guys are the reason why I stayed this long. Here we go.
Off the mansion.
Oh my days!
Only 6 people remain.
Wow, what do I say?
Here's your cash. Congratulations. Oh, he did it!
I don't trust him. I
don't trust him either.
Oh, no! That means it's just us 4.
That's crazy. Feel the brass for me, guys.
Take care, boys. And just like that, only 3 contestants remain.
Are you ready to step out of the house?
It's been a journey, MrBeast. Your challenges are officially hard.
Wow. Oh my God.
Step over the line. Oh my.
All right, bro. But I got a vid though. What is even harder? All right. What's even harder? A MrBeast challenge or going to the Diamond Gym? Let's talk about it though. What is harder? A MrBeast video or a Diamond Gym video? Cause I seen what Kosh and that went through. You know what I'm saying? Within 2 hours. And these niggas staying inside the house for 115 days. Come on, my nigga. Come on, my nigga. Y'all say MrBeast? Hey, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That MrBeast shit is easy, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I don't think anything is harder than the Diamond Gym, bro. Like, me, I'm not physically prepared to do the Diamond Gym, my nigga. I can't do it. I can't do it, bro. I feel like you're able to do the MrBeast shit, bro. You just not lasting living with 15 niggas for a month? Yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm sleeping the whole time. I promise you. Nigga, I sit here and doom scroll the whole time on stream, my nigga. And then after that, what do? I go to sleep. MrBeast will make me go inside? Nah, I don't think so, bro. Yo, Jimmy, bro. If you seeing this, I'm gonna let you know right here, right now, bro. I don't think your challenges are harder than a Diamond Gym. I'm gonna keep it 100%, bro. Diamond Gym is way more harder than a MrBeast video, bro. I'm sorry. Anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. You know what video looked real easy, bro? The one where he was like in the store, you know what I'm saying? Where they had all them 4 people that was in the store and whatnot, bro. I was like, how the fuck y'all niggas sit here and everybody just quit leaving the store? I can't do that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
My goodness.
Hey, but look, I just did that shit so I can clip, you know what I'm saying? I want to be in a MrBeast video too. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Put me in the video, nigga. What the fuck? And then when it gets to the end, when they start showing the 100,000 and whatnot, I'm gonna be the first nigga to leave. I don't care, nigga. Bro, put me in that MrBeast video, nigga. I don't care, bro. I'm gonna send this shit to Jimmy. I'm gonna tag his ass too.
Oh my God!
It's kind of like a scene from The Notebook. With them out, all that remains is Asher, Uthi, Kevin, and me. It's extremely difficult to explain to people how hard this challenge actually is. One tiny lapse in concentration
That was risky.
And you could lose $1 million house.
I gotta show these young bloods that I still got it.
And it makes things like eating, washing your hands,
soap the hand,
and going to the bathroom way more difficult. But probably the hardest thing of all is figuring out how to sleep.
I'm gonna be the first one to go to sleep because they have an incentive to keep my hand here. If it comes off, 2 of them are gonna go home with nothing.
I'm here, and we got to make sure Jimmy stays in here. I'm literally sitting on his hand. I want everybody here that was in the challenge to leave with something. To do that, we got to keep Jimmy here.
And luckily, the next person to take their hand off did it before I did.
No.
What's up? What the heck?
Oh, really?
Am I awake?
What happened?
And then there were 3.
I mean, I'm not mad going home with this. I didn't get to win this mansion, but I'm glad I met you guys.
Yo, high key, I wanted this nigga to win, bro. Fuck. That's crazy, bro.
Kevin, before you go too far, to make things interesting, I'm gonna join you.
Oh my days.
Which now means that only one of them is gonna walk away a winner.
No, these niggas dead letting Asher wins, bro.
I have no words.
Grab your giant bags of money. You're gone.
And so you be playing with your balls too much, bro. Leave that shit alone, bro. What the fuck? Talk about some my hands was dead being my balls 3 hours in my sleep. What the fuck?
Come on.
Jimmy, how dare you leave? It hasn't been more than 24 hours.
No matter who wins, this will be a fight to the end.
This is not for me, but it's for my dad.
It's an honorable cause.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I'm not a sympathetic type. But at some point, I am gonna have to sleep. And honestly,
Yo, I don't like this position that you sitting in, nigga. It look like you're jorking. These niggas be drinking too?
I could balls.
You enforcing my balls laws? Leave your balls alone, bro. They gonna be playing with his balls, and then out of nowhere, he's gonna lift his hands up, and while he sleep, he gonna put his hands right on his face. All right, then.
Sleep right now if I wanted to.
But he didn't. And while Asher stayed awake to avoid elimination, Uthi got several hours of sleep without ever removing his hand.
Yo!
What up, boys? I'm
How
back.
you guys doing? Welcome.
How you doing?
Doing good.
Joe, I heard you haven't slept yet.
No.
How are you feeling?
I don't really remember what happened the last hour. I'm not seeing things yet, though.
You're gonna have to sleep
Oh yeah, I'm gonna sleep tonight.
If we figure out how to sleep, this can go on for a long time.
Are you worried that you might be getting overconfident?
No, that will.
Asher, overconfident?
There we go.
How does it feel?
It's actually really nice.
Now make sure you keep that hand in play while you sleep. He looks like he's already falling asleep.
I've been awake for 32 hours plus, Jimmy.
Asher's hand is jammed in that window.
Asher's a heavy sleeper. He might move.
I don't move in my sleep.
And your old job, how many years would it take you to be able to buy $1 million mansion?
It would have probably took me more than 20 years to get this house.
Wow.
Winning this is a whole life.
Nah, you see that nigga has been here for so long, bro. Look, bro, I feel like I would dead look like this nigga, bro. Oh my God, I'd be agitated. This nigga really embodiment of a fucking African Haitian or whatever nigga. Like this nigga mad ashy, bro. Feet all out, bro. He in his bummy nigga state.
Changer, not just for me, but for my family.
Dang, the house is
Nigga said he doing this shit for the family too. Yeah, I know he finna win.
so silent. It's like a ghost house now. All the laughter that were in this house, there were 15, and now there's 2.
4 months ago,
If a
15
nigga
people
told me that's
walked
SBG
into this mansion,
SBG, but I
and
believe
every
him.
one of them swearing they would be the last one standing.
I'm never leaving this place.
Out of all of them, Asher and Uthi are the only ones who have kept that promise.
1, 2, 3,
Through every friendship
You're not the man of your words.
and hardship. And right now, they both have one single thing in mind: to outlast the other. Which is why I could not believe what happened next.
This nigga lost. Asher won.
Lucy. Come with me. Asher, do you know what video I'm about to play?
I do not know, sir.
Wow. Yes. My niggas live to fight another day. Yes. 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 I don't care. I don't care how much you sit here and try to tie yourself and whatnot, nigga. The African nigga did it better, nigga.
He took it straight off. It wasn't even close. Which means, I'm sorry, Asher. You have been eliminated. And Uthi, this is your mansion.
Oh my goodness!
Congratulations, Uthi. The building you are in is officially yours.
Yes, oh my goodness! Thank you so much. Thank you, Jimmy.
You called it.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yes!
You are officially the last human after 119 days inside the mansion. And it is yours. Go for it. You can step out.
Oh my gosh!
This is the deed to the mansion. That is.
I hate when my face get like this, though. You know what I'm saying? Having all that hair down here, bro. Fuck, I know that shit feel irritating.
Is your name? And that is my signature.
Let me see.
Wait, this nigga got kids? Oh, shit.
What the heck? Oh my goodness. Guys, I win this mansion.
Asher don't get shit? I don't see nothing for Asher, bro. That nigga don't get nothing? My God. Okay. Wow.